episode of Middle Age Magic. As you notice, we are in the same room. We did manage to get our act together and do the 50-mile trip.
Well,
so,
you say get our act together, but we're recording this at, what time does that say?
I think it's about coming up for 11 o'clock
Coming
at
up for
night.
11 o'clock at night, yeah.
Tech issues. So today's episode, we're going to be discussing one of my favourite subjects, and that is food. And obviously in Orlando, and especially in the theme parks, there is a multitude of choices, which is why we're going to do this in 2 episodes.
3 if you count character dining in a different one.
This is true. we decided that it was too big a subject to do it in one. Otherwise, we'd be here forever. And after last episode's marathon session, we've decided to split food up into 3. So the first episode, which is the one we're going to be doing now, is park food. So everything you're going to find in the theme parks and within the resort hotels. Second one is going to be the food festivals, and obviously Epcot is known for its festivals throughout the year, and along with the festivals go the food booths, and Universal with their Mardi Gras food booths and Halloween Horror Nights food booths, and SeaWorld as their 7 Seas food booths. And then part 3 will be character dining, which obviously Disney is known for its character dining, and Universal started character dining as well. So that will be the next 3 episodes, all about the food.
Ooh. I'm hungry even though we've just eaten.
This is where she normally has to go and get Gaviscons.
Yeah, I get indigestion just looking at food videos.
So bear with us if she disappears.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously this episode is going to be about the park dining. As with park dining, you have table service, which are your restaurants that you go and sit down at, and someone brings your food to you.
To the table.
And then you have counter service, which is like your fast food restaurants. So even though there's tables inside, you go up to the counter, a bit like McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, other fast food restaurants. In Magic Kingdom, there are it's mainly counter service. You do have sit downs, which are Plaza Gardens,
which is a buffet.
Which not in America, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
That's not.
Yeah, it is.
That's not.
Yeah, it is. Oh no, that's the Crystal Palace. I just got excited about Winnie the Pooh then, sorry.
Crystal Palace,
which is
character dining.
Oh yeah, we're not allowed to talk about that. Scrap that. Where's Plaza Gardens then?
Disneyland Paris. That's a buffet.
No, where's Plaza Gardens?
It's in the same place as it is in France.
I've never eaten in there. I've always gone on the other side and eaten the Crystal Palace. Sorry.
Yeah.
We digress.
Still. And you have Tony's, which is the Italian restaurant that has Lady and the Tramp theme in. And that's another table service restaurant.
That's at the top of Main Street, isn't it?
That's at the top of Main Street, yes. Just as you come into the park on the right-hand side. We mainly, we are terrible. We snack our way round.
There's a whole section on snacking.
There is a whole section on snacks. And there are obviously snacks that each park is known for. So in Magic Kingdom, you have Dole Whips, which are the pineapple ice cream, pineapple soft serve, and pineapple juice floats.
Which I like both of, but I don't like ice cream. It's a whole nother story.
You also have the cheeseburger spring rolls, which are from a little food cart just by the Jungle Cruise. And each park has its own speciality that it's known for. Obviously, each park from these little food carts sells popcorn and Mickey premium bars, and you can get bottles of water and soft drinks from those as well.
And probably a Mickey shaped pretzel that they seem to sell pretty much everywhere.
The Mickey shaped pretzels with the plastic cheese sauce,
yeah.
yes. They're very nice. And if you can get hold of the jalapeno one, the cream cheese with the jalapeno in, it's really nice.
That's jalapeno. That'll give me indigestion.
Yeah. So we're opposite Walgreens.
Oh yeah, silly me.
Yeah. So within the parks, said Epcot is, there's so much food in Epcot even without the festivals.
Yeah. You can literally eat yourself way around the world with snacks.
Yeah. And they've just had their Space 220 restaurant open, which is it's not a signature dining, but it's an experience dining, for want of a better
You were
word.
going to say expensive dining,
I
then,
was
weren't
gonna
you?
say expensive. It is expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive.
And they've also got Garden Grill, which is family style dining. So it's a bit like, it is a bit like a buffet.
It's a buffet, but not a buffet.
Yeah. So with family dining, which a few of the Disney restaurants are, they bring you platters to your table.
Copious amounts of food.
And you can ask for refills of those platters as well.
And the awesome thing about the Garden Grill is all the food that they serve you is actually grown at Epcot.
Grown within the Living with the Land ride.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And it was bloody tasty when I went.
One thing about the Garden Grill as well, it is character dining. But there's also the fact of it rotates. Very slowly.
Very slowly.
But it does rotate as well.
A bit disconcerting if you nip off to the bathroom and you come back and your table's not where you left it. Which is funny. But yeah.
Another really good restaurant, which is also character dining as well, in Epcot is Akerhus. It's the Princess Dining in Norway. So that's, again, I think that's just changing back to a buffet. During the pandemic, all the buffets went, and they went to family style. They're now starting to turn back into buffets, which is really good. In Hollywood Studios, food wise, it's a lot of counter service, which is nice, because then if you've got picky eaters, you are going to get chicken tender meals and pizza, Mickey pizzas,
lots of burgers, waffle fries.
Yeah.
Obviously
in Galaxy's Edge, you've got the I know they sell Rontosaurus wraps. I can't think of the name of the counter service, but they do breakfast wraps as well, which are really nice, which is a sausage, an egg, and I think it's vegetables in a wrap.
So, look, for people, yeah, she's gesticulating again. It's becoming a bit of a thing.
It is.
Sorry, people that aren't watching on video.
Sorry, people who are listening to this, but I described a wrap with my hands. Just opening next month in Disney Hollywood Studios is the new restaurant of Woody's Backyard Barbecue. Now, you might have heard us talk about this in the last episode when we discussed new things happening.
Might have posted a blog post about it as well, I think.
I think there was a blog post as well. That is going to be, it's not a character meal, but it is going to be family style. So you will get the platters brought out for your starters, your mains, and your desserts.
And it's going to be obviously Toy Story themed because it's in Toy Story Land.
Yes.
And it does look really quite tasty. If you like barbecue, which we do because we are carnivores, and there'll be corn because Sam doesn't eat it, and I love corn.
I can't eat corn on the cob. I've got a crown on my front tooth, and if I eat corn on the cob, my tooth moves, so I can't eat corn on the cob. Also at Hollywood Studios, you have the 50s sci-fi diner. It's a sci-fi diner.
You've eaten in there loads of times. How have you forgotten what it's called? It's basically like a drive-in theatre.
You sit in a car.
You sit in a car in the dark watching crappy old B-movie trailers and space-themed cartoons. It's really awesome.
It's very good. Again, it's just basic American foods, burgers, ribs, chicken. Milkshakes are out of this world.
You can get a souvenir little glowy mug cup which glows in the dark, which is great because it's dark in there, shockingly enough.
That is my one problem with the drive-in diners, that it's dark and I can't see what I'm eating. So there are little like side lights to the cars to give you like a little bit of light, but yeah, it's
can be quite messy in there, can't it, if you're not careful?
Yes. Also, with because you're sat in a car, they sit 2 and 2, but you're like one behind the other. So if you're a party of 4, you're going to be sat 2 in the front, 2 in the back,
yeah.
but all facing the same direction.
Yeah.
So
didn't make for good when there was 3 of us and there was 2 in the front of the car and one of us in the back.
Yeah, it wasn't good. You've also got Brown Derby in Hollywood Studios. That's based on the original Brown Derby restaurant in California. So
hasn't that got a lounge as well?
It does have a lounge, yes. And that's a bonus with some of the restaurants. As we go up in price ranges, you go to the signature restaurants, which we'll talk about in a minute. A lot of them have lounges. Space 220 has a lounge. Now, Space 220, that was in Epcot, which is the one where you go up to space in the big elevator and eat in space. It's a very hard to get reservation.
That must be a high elevator. Sorry.
Big elevator. I was thinking Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. Showing my age. Yes, so the hard to get reservations at the moment are Space 220. But it does have a lounge, which you don't need a reservation for. But they serve the full menu, but you're sat in the lounge or at the bar.
Yes, it's like bar snacks, but posh bar snacks, isn't it, when you go to a lounge?
Yeah, but it's all cooked in. It's the same food, but it's a reduced menu. So yeah, that's if you can't get a reservation in a restaurant you want and you know it has a lounge, you can go and do a walk up on the lounges. And a lot of the lounges now have a wait list where you can leave your number and they will text you your time to go back.
You don't have to eat a full menu. So if you just want a drink and the dessert, you can do that in the lounge. Whereas obviously you can't do that if you go to the restaurant. Yeah, like you to eat.
Space 220 is a fixed price menu, which Disney seems to be doing a lot of at the moment. That seems to have come in as they've reopened. You now have a lot of fixed priced menus and not able to go a la carte. So although it's fixed price, but you get a choice of say 3 starters, 4 mains and 3 desserts, but you haven't got that a la carte option. Said in Epcot, we'll go back to Epcot and we'll talk about Epcot again.
Well, to be fair, it is probably the foodiest place in Disney World.
Epcot is the foodiest place. I mean, each world around World Showcase has its own restaurant. Sometimes it has 2.
And they've all got snacky things. All of them.
All got snack booths. I mean, Mexico has the restaurant inside the pyramid. It's got the counter service one outside.
Yep.
And then it's got the margarita bar as well, or tequila bar inside. And as you work your way around, Germany has the beer garden, which I've heard really good stuff about. I've never eaten in there, but I've heard really good stuff. Same with Morocco. Their counter service.
It's good. I've eaten there. The counter service is great.
If you go around to France, France has got its table service restaurant. It's now got the creperie open as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't France have a bakery bit?
It does have the bakery as well, which you get the macarons from. And then you go around to England, or UK, sorry.
Fish and chips.
That's got the Rose and Crown. The Rose and Crown is based on a traditional British pub. So it has the bar.
The glassings and the Friday night bar fights because it's in Disney. Sorry.
Not only does it have the bar section, it also has a sit-down restaurant, and it has a counter part outside. So if you can't get reservation, you can still get your fish and chips and then go and sit in the garden at the back of the UK shop.
And sometimes you might see Mary Poppins Bert and some penguins hanging out there.
Yes, that's where they meet, down there at the back. All at the back, there's the gazebo where I think they're just starting to bring back the live music.
Oh, cool.
And they normally have a tribute band playing Beatles and Rolling Stones and all that. So it's really nice that the live entertainment is coming back into the parks again, which is really nice. Moving on to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom has some stunning restaurants. Yak and Yeti, I think, is if you mention Animal Kingdom to me, Yak and Yeti is the first place I think of. Although it's in a Disney park, it's owned by Landry's, which are an American company that own restaurants such as Bubba Gump's, Rainforest Cafe. What's the dinosaur one?
T-Rex.
T-Rex restaurant at Disney Springs. Thank you.
Which is lovely if
And
you've never been.
Yak and Yeti. Now you can get a Landry's card. It costs you $25, but that is loaded onto your card. And if you sign up with your card as well, every birthday they give you $25 as well to spend. With that Landry's card, you also get to skip the queue. So say you go to Yak and Yeti and they tell you there's an hour and a half wait, you pull out your Landry's card and you'll be the next person seated. So it's very useful if you're going out like in a busy time, say school holidays or during spring break or over the Christmas season. And that like perk of the card will work in any Landry's restaurant. So Bubba Gump's at City Walk, T-Rex at
Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
It's not been called Downtown Disney for ages, woman.
I know, I still call it Downtown Disney. And obviously Rainforest Cafe, also at Disney Springs and Animal Kingdom too. Because the Rainforest Cafe at Animal Kingdom is just before you go into the park. So it's just at the entrance gates. Animal Kingdom has a lot of booths as well. And I think everyone has their sort of like favourite one. I know there's one that sells the seasoned fries. That's just as you're walking around to Everest, there's like a little cart that sells all different flavoured fries. But you can't talk about Animal Kingdom and food without talking about Saltuli's Canteen, which is part of Pandora. They do. No, I've yet to be here, but it is top of my list for Animal Kingdom. Saltuli Canteen.
It wasn't open when I went last. They're just finishing it.
But they do their dinner bowls, and you get to pick your base, which is either a vegetable hash, noodles, or rice. You then add your protein, which can be chicken, beef, and there's a fish, but I'm not sure what fish it is.
She doesn't do fish.
I don't do fish. And then you get your stir-fried vegetables.
What happens if you're a veggie and you don't have that kind of... Can you get tofu or
They do a tofu, yeah.
Carpet underlay. Sorry, vegetarians. Sorry, I have to say sorry, vegetables. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, Disney's become a lot better with vegetarian food. So they are offering either tofu. I know is it Impossible meats? Impossible.
Oh yeah, they do
burgers.
The pretend meat,
yeah,
which isn't meat. But yeah,
meat that isn't meat.
Yeah.
But yeah, Disney's become very, even at the festivals when we get to talk to festival foods, there are booths which are purely vegetarian or vegan options.
Yeah.
So
I do love a bit of vegan food.
That is becoming a lot more accessible within the parks. So yeah, where are we going? I've done Epcot, done years. Am I missing a park?
You've done Epcot, we've done Hollywood Studios, we've done Animal Kingdom, and you've done the Magic Kingdom.
I've done all of them.
Well done.
Right.
We're going to talk about Disney, not Downtown, but Springs.
Disney Springs, the love of my life.
Only because you like shopping.
I do like shopping and food. And Disney Springs has a vast array of food.
Oh yeah, everything from a quick and dirty burger to ridiculously posh dining that they probably wouldn't let us in.
Disney Springs, there is the choice of you got deluxe burger, you have Blaze pizza, which are your normal, again, counter service, but air conditioning, very nice. You've also got the Chicken Guy food, which is by Guy Ferreira, and that is amazing. We ate there the first day we were out there in 2019, and yes, it's just chicken tenders or chicken strips. It's fried chicken, but the sauces just make it. It was the best chicken I've had, and I'm not a lover of fried chicken. You know, if there's nothing else on offer, I'll take it. But
you're funny with chicken.
I'm funny with chicken. I don't like chicken on the bone either. But then you've also got Homecoming, which looks amazing. That's the one.
Another one that's going to be on our list.
That's the one with the cheddar drop biscuits.
Oh yes, so yes.
You got Wine Bar George, which not only is a wine bar, they also sell some amazing food, and it's all cooked on site, and it's stunning. You then go across Raglan Road, which is the Irish themed,
which has always got
pub and restaurant.
It's always really, really busy and really, really popular, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we went in there actually for a drink. The first night we were there, it was like, just got off the plane, need a drink, and we went into Raglan Road, and it's they had live music, they have live Irish dancers.
And if you go there when it's St. Paddy's Day, in the middle of March, they throw the best party you're ever going to go to outside of Ireland.
But again, Raglan Road not only has its sit-down restaurant, it does have a side window which is called Cooks of Dublin, and that's a fish and chip restaurant. So that's again, two options there. You've got Planet Hollywood, at Disney Springs, House of Blues, which
that's another one on my to-do list that I've never managed to get to.
A big thing with House of Blues is their Sunday brunch, which looks, and that has bottomless bellinis or bottomless mimosas in I find out all these things.
Remember that neither of us are really big drinkers anymore.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we used to be known as the Cocktail Queens, and we used to do drinking
known as the Mocktail Queens.
No, I had one beer at Christmas. I bought 3. I was treating myself. I'd found Aldi do the grapefruit beer that I used to like out in Disney, and that used to be my go-to drink. I bought 3 cans on the 20th of December. We're now the 25th of February. There's still 2 cans in my fridge. So that shows you the drinking levels that we are dealing with here.
And I spend the same amount of money on non-alcoholic gin now as I used to spend on alcoholic gin.
So there will not be a lot of drinking on our trips, but there will be a lot of trying out mocktails. So if normally it's given as an option on the children's menu, but we want to try it as an adult and see what their mocktails are like. So that's
because we've drunk quite a lot of cocktails, didn't we? When we were both drinkers, we
were cocktails. That would be our go-to thing.
Yeah,
the cocktails.
We'd go to pubs and bars and places just to try the cocktails.
Yes. So this time we're going to see what their mocktail selection's like, which is nice because not everybody wants to
get absolutely hammered.
Yeah. Not anymore. I'm too old for that. thought of it. Right, people of a certain age will know that if you do get drunk, you don't just get a hangover.
Oh, not anymore.
You get like 3-day hangovers.
Gone are the staying up till 5 a.m, hammered, going to bed for a couple of hours and getting up and go to work. That doesn't. No.
Just thought of that.
That makes it sound like absolute pissheads.
Yeah, but I used to do it.
Yeah, many of the day we've fallen off a garden chair in the back garden here, but that's another day. Recreating Disney cocktails from drinking around the world.
Yeah. You can find the recipes for the Epcot cocktails online, and I found them and I made them.
we attempted to recreate drinking around the world one night, didn't we? Didn't even get halfway around, did we? Did we get halfway around?
We did.
I didn't get halfway around, no. I didn't even get a quarter of the way around, did I?
You got about halfway. Just halfway.
Too old for that crap anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, Disney Springs has a selection. I mean, they've got Mexican, they've got Cuban, they've also got food trucks there as well. So if you don't want to sit down, you do have the food trucks that have tacos. I think it's churros.
Oh,
Churros. And of course, after you've had your selection of tacos or chicken or pizza, you then have to visit Ghirardelli's.
Oh, I was just about to say there's a large amount of dessert options.
Yes, Ghirardelli's does the most amazing ice cream.
I don't like ice cream. Well, that's the wrong word. It's not that I don't like ice cream. Me and ice cream have a bit of a weird relationship.
Just a bit.
But even I eat it.
And Ghirardelli's also are famous for their chocolate. So they sell the little chocolate squares and
gesticulating for people that aren't watching on the video.
Yes. I was going to say I'd put subtitles on them, but they're not going to work either. Oh my god. I'm not naturally blonde. I'm grey, but I wasn't blonde normally. Also, one of our favourite places in Disney Springs, and this has been a go-to since the first time we ever went to Florida, and that is Earl of Sandwich.
Oh, yes. Sorry, that was a very sharp intake of breath there.
Earl of Sandwich.
Didn't we get very carried away the first time we ever went to the Earl of Sandwich?
We did, yeah. I think that was the first night one. No, first night was ESPN. So yeah, Earl of Sandwich. Think Subway, but better. It's the only way I can describe it.
Oh, it's definitely better.
Yeah. But again, you go in and you pick what sandwich or roll you'd like, sides, and you can just get a sandwich or baguette or roll, whichever. And you then have the option to make it a meal deal, which includes your sides and your drinks. So
they're bloody big, aren't they?
They are very big, yeah. So Earl of Sandwich is something I definitely recommend. When we went out in 2019, we stopped at Disney Springs before we went to the airport, and we actually got Earl of Sandwich to take with us to eat on the plane on the way home.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, we did that.
So are we going to head over to Universal now?
Universal now. Universal has not been known for its food in the parks. It was all very much theme park food, you know, burgers, hot dogs. But in recent years, they have upped their game. And improvements have been seen in both parks, so both Island of Adventure and in Universal Studios. Universal, obviously, the two restaurants that everyone talks about are the Leaky Cauldron in the Harry Potter section in in Universal Studios.
Yeah, that was their first.
So, no, Universal Studios. Oh, for God's sake. So, Leaky Cauldron is Universal Studios Harry Potter. You then got the Three Broomsticks.
That's what I was thinking of.
Which is in Islands of Adventure. Harry Potter in Hogsmeade. So you've got, they both obviously sell butterbeer.
Which is wrong.
And butterbeer now comes in 3 varieties. So you've got your normal butterbeer, which is what we had.
I'm still getting the foam out of my nose 8, 9, however many years later.
Yeah. If you want to know about the butterbeer bogey story, go onto the blog.
Because apparently
it's all explained
you
there.
have to drink butterbeer in a specific way, and if your nose isn't in it, you haven't done it properly.
So you have your normal butterbeer. You then have a frozen butterbeer, which apparently is better. So I think that's good, depending on temperature when we're out there. And they also now do a hot butterbeer. So you can have your butterbeer 3 ways. In the restaurants, they are counter service. So you queue up, get your food, put on a table, take it back to you, put on a tray, take it back to your table. They do have different options in the Leaky Cauldron and in Three Broomsticks. They do open for breakfast as well. It's classed as traditional English food.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
So they do have fish and chips. I
think when I ate in there, the chips were potato wedges.
Yeah, no, they're fries.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Okay. For our American viewers, nowhere does chip chop chips like the UK.
Yeah.
Nowhere. I don't know what they do to them in the chip shops. If anyone works in a chip shop and can tell us why they taste the way they do,
beef fat,
please let us know. Because you can't, nowhere in the world makes chip shop chips like the UK. But they're getting back to they've got fish and chips, they've got a shepherd's pie. Think in the Leaky Cauldron they do like a roast dinner, because I saw Yorkshire puddings.
I think they do a Yorkshire pud with it's like a Yorkshire pud with the stuff in it.
Yes, so it's classed as traditional English food.
I've only been there on a corporate night at a conference, so I've only had diet parts of the food where they just wish it out for us to snack on. So I've not eaten there properly.
So that's the two Harry Potter restaurants. They do get extremely busy because obviously the Harry Potter themed, and both Harry Potter areas get busy, and so do both restaurants. In Ireland, I'll start with Islands of Adventure because I know that I can remember that one a lot better. As you go in, you have the Crescent Croissant Bakery. No, Crescent Croissant Cafe. That's the one.
Put your teeth in.
I know. It's testing me today. That is basically a bakery and a coffee shop. It's only open till I think 1 o'clock, 2ish. So it's
only
morning
lunchtime.
and lunchtime. But they sell rolls, ham and cheese rolls, baked goods, obviously. Croissants, and that's where you get your coffee from as well. It does tend to have smaller lines than Starbucks, so if you want your coffee early, that may be an option to save your queuing at Starbucks. The ham and cheese croissants apparently are very good and may make a different option for breakfast rather than Cinnabon or Voodoo Donuts. So that's an option.
Well, normally you wouldn't have a donut for breakfast, except for if you're in Florida, in which case it's the law to have a donut for breakfast.
Or at a sci-fi convention.
Or at a sci-fi convention, yeah.
If you're trading at a sci-fi convention,
yeah,
that would be another option.
That's a whole nother story.
As you go, if you're going around Island Adventure, you then have Cafe 4, which is based on the Fantastic Four. It's counter service, it's your normal theme park food, so pizzas, burgers, hot dogs.
And that's where they have the Marvel character meal.
No.
But they moved it.
That's in the place next door.
Oh, for God's sake. Not that.
Which is your Captain America themed
Tell I'm tired.
Restaurant. So yeah, the Captain America restaurant is where Universal,
I get it.
Yeah, where Universal are now doing their character dining experience,
which we'll talk about
in another episode. As you go around, you'll see lots of little booths in Islands of Adventure, selling hot dogs, pizza slices, churros, and corn dogs, which are on a stick.
Which are one of your favourite things in the whole world ever.
Corn dogs. Yes. I like corn dogs. As you go around, you'll also come across the restaurant in Jurassic World. There's a in the Jurassic Park section, there is a restaurant there as well. Moving around, you go through Harry Potter.
More gesticulating for people that aren't watching us on there.
And opposite.
Is it left or right? You're just going to move around.
Which way? You go round to the right.
Well done.
Follow it round. I had to think. You come across Mythos, which is their sit-down restaurant in Islands of Adventure. I've only seen videos of this food because when I've been out there before, I've either been out there when my son was very young.
And he was not very food adventurous then, was he?
No, it was chicken nuggets and chips or burgers.
Yellow food.
Plain burgers or chicken nuggets. That was he was 8 at the time. But the food I have seen coming out of the videos from Mythos does look really nice. And I think it's still got the sign up that it was voted the best theme park restaurant in the world in something like 2017. And it still has that.
What kind of food do they do? Don't say food. It sounds like it should be Greek or Mediterranean.
There is a lot of Mediterranean influence to the food. So
I'd like that.
So yeah, if you want something different and not burgers or fried food, then that would be an option as well. If you go into, and as you go around again, you're going into Seuss Landing. Now, Seuss Landing has one of the top food quick service booths in Islands of Adventure, and that is their green eggs and ham themed booth, and it looks like a green egg. You can't miss it. It's bright green. Looks like an egg. But they do the tater tot nachos.
Oh my god! Why are you not living there? Sam's second favourite food group in the whole world is tater tot.
And they do pizza tots. So pizza tots. So you have your base of tater tots.
More gesticulating, people. More gesticulating.
And then it's covered in cheese and pepperoni. So it's like a pizza that makes tater tots. And they do a vegetarian option with that as well.
Why would you? Oh, anyway. Hang on a minute. It's potatoes.
Yeah, but the toppings.
Oh, okay. I thought you were trying to tell me that potatoes weren't vegetarian then.
No. But yeah, so they have then they have, I think it's 3 or 4 options of these tachos, they call them.
Oh, that's really cute.
It's great. And they also do green eggs and ham.
Ooh, I love that book. I'd be tempted to have green eggs and ham just because I can say that I have.
Yes. So again, lots of options in Islands of Adventure. Moving over to Universal Studios, there is more sit-down restaurants in Islands of Adventure. Lombard's is one of them.
I just said Islands of Adventure. Did we mean Universal Studios?
It's late. Yeah, moving over to Universal Studios, you've got Lombard's, which is sit down. Food looks amazing. We watched one of Paige and Mr. Morrow's videos from Mardi Gras when they done the ride and dine experience.
It did look good.
They chose to eat in Lombard's, so that food does look very, very good. You've got quite a few counter service restaurants again. You have Moe's Diner, which again is pizza, your basic theme park food, pizza, burgers.
So Simpsons things because it's Moe's.
No, yes, it is. Yes.
No, yes.
No, yes. Yep, you got Moe's. You've also got the Today Cafe, which is by the Jimmy Fallon ride. That looks to be very good fresh food, fresh sandwiches. Looks to be a good option for breakfast. Again, there's a lot of fresh pastries, fresh croissants. So that looks to be.
Is there any fruit?
There is fruit.
Because
on a tart. The fruit tart looks amazing.
We do crave a bit of fruit when we've had.
After about 3 days, your body starts craving fruit or vegetables.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's just, we don't do a lot of fried food. So after about 3 days of eating nothing but fried food. It's
we need to have a day off.
we need to have a salad. Just want salads. So I mean, Islands, Universal Studios does have a lot of food booths as well, especially during festivals such as Mardi Gras and Halloween Horror Nights. You end up with about 30 to 40 food booths with a vast selection. Universal Studios is also home to the Lard Boy donut. Now, for people who don't know, the Lard Boy donut is from Simpsons, and it is an extremely large pink donut.
It's like a size of a fucking tyre. It's massive.
We are saying it is as big as your head.
Yeah.
So easily shareable amongst a family of 4, or for 2 for breakfast for 4 or 5 days.
Or if you're feeling like a really fat, greedy git, you can have it all to yourself, but then probably feel quite queasy afterwards.
Also in Universal Studios, there are a couple of bars, most notable being in the just as you cross the bridge coming back where the Jaws ride used to be, and that is the home of the Jaws cocktail.
Oh, well, we'll be definitely going there.
So both Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios do have a lot of options for food.
And they have up their game.
And they
recently.
have up their game amazingly. City Walk, which is obviously Universal's Disney Springs, has a lot of food options.
And a lot of drink options as well.
And a lot of drink options, yes. They do have a food mall, which is up above the cinema area, and you have Panda Express, you've got a Burger King Whopper bar, and you've got the Bao Bun counter service there as well. Panda Express is amazing. It's so cheap. So yeah, you can get a selection which is like rice, noodles, and 2 mains, and it's under $10, and that would easily feed 2 of you. So you then go. You've got Voodoo Donuts, which is a must.
You've mentioned that a couple of times.
Can you tell I'm excited by Voodoo Donuts? Voodoo Donuts. You've also got Cowfish, which is a burger sushi restaurant. It's a sit-down restaurant, and they've got something called burgushi. Now, I don't like fish.
You may have mentioned that a couple of times too.
But
I do. I love fish.
She loves fish,
and I like sushi.
I don't go near sushi because I've got fish. But they do something called burgushi, which is basically a burger wrapped in.
It's basically a burger sushi.
It's burger sushi, but with no fish.
Yeah.
And no rice. They wrap it in tempura batter or sliced potatoes. Or so that's going on the list of something I have to try. You've also got Bubba Gumps.
Shrimp. That's a whole different restaurant, Sam. Jeez.
You also have Bubba Gumps.
Which you have eaten at, but you don't do fish.
Yes, I have eaten that, but obviously I don't do fish. But Bubba Gumps was lovely. Again, it's a Landry's owned restaurant, so you can use your Landry's card there. I went when 2012, I think.
It was 12 or 13 because it wasn't
2012. And it was somewhere that my son had chosen that he wanted to eat.
That's because he is Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Bless him.
Bless his little cotton socks.
He's not little anymore.
No, I know, he's 6'2" now. But yeah, so you've also got the NBC Grill.
Don't go there on Super Bowl Day.
No. You have the Hard Rock Cafe, and I've eaten in there a couple of times at the Hard Rock Cafe, and
I've never been to a Hard Rock Cafe.
Hard Rock Cafe. The times I've been there, the food is nothing to write home about. It is your traditional American diner food. It's burgers, chicken, ribs. It's your traditional American diner food. But the actual restaurant itself is stunning. If you like pop memorabilia, it's amazing just to go in and look. It's very big. It gets very noisy, but it is stunning. The actual restaurant itself is amazing. Food, I think there's better choices, and you're paying for the name mainly for me. You've also got Margaritaville.
Oh, I've eaten in one of those. That's brilliant fun.
Which is Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville, known for the nachos.
They are very good.
Known for the nachos, and obviously margaritas as well,
which I don't drink anymore.
Yep. In City Walk, you've also got Toothsomes. I can't remember the full name, but Toothsomes. I think it's Toothsomes Chocolate
something Emporium.
Emporium, yeah. Where basically all their food
Palace.
contains chocolate. Even the steaks will have some form of chocolate.
And they're known for the most magnificent milkshakes in the universe, aren't they?
Yeah, they do the dirty milkshakes. So it's like a mason jar of milkshake with a cake or a donut or some form of stuff on top.
It's basically food porn.
Yes. With Twosomes, you have the option of sit-down restaurant where you can have a 3-course meal, or they do have a walk-up counter where you can get your bakery options and the milkshakes. So that's an option for Twosomes. Said lots of choice.
You've forgotten the bars.
The bars. There's so many bars. Yeah, the bars. We have the what is normally called the red coconut.
It's currently the dead coconut, isn't it?
Cursed coconut.
Cursed coconut, sorry. It was the dead coconut. It's been the red and green coconut as well.
It's been the red and green coconut. I think
for
it's a dead coconut normally.
It's the dead coconut for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, and then for Christmas it became the red and green coconuts.
But currently it's Mardi Gras.
And it's the cursed coconuts. It is a bar.
Does it do snacks as well? It does, doesn't it? It
does do snacks. Which is on the upper level of Disney Springs.
No, it's at Universal. I love it when we're tired.
Right. So you have the cursed coconut, which is on the upper level of City Walk. It's on the upper, and again, it's themed amazingly. It does play music. It does turn into a bit of a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's over 21s only, so you would need ID.
Because you can't drink if you're not over 21. We can drink, but you can't drink alcohol.
Yes. And you also Bob Marley's. Yeah, Bob Marley's is also at City Walk. Again, it does do food, but mainly known as a bar. So lots of options in City Walk. City Walk tends to have a more adult feel.
Yeah.
Than Disney Springs.
It's definitely more nightlife when the park's shut, isn't it? Like proper adulty nightlife.
Yeah, I mean both City Walk and Disney Springs are open till late. City Walk is normally open till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. Same with Disney Springs. So if you're there when the parks are closing early, say 7, 8 o'clock as they do in off season, there are plenty of food options to be had at Disney Springs and City Walk. So whatever your choice of food, be it traditional American fare, vegetarian, fresh foods, there is plenty of choice wherever you go. And different price points as well, which is nice because we all know how expensive these holidays are that we plan. So knowing there's different price points in food, you don't want, if you can afford to pay like $100 for 2 people every day for dinner, that's great. Go ahead and do it. You'll have an amazing time. But knowing you can also go out and pay $30 for 2 and still eat well is nice. You've got the option there. So, and remember, for us Brits, the American portion sizes are huge.
Bloody huge, yeah.
So you do have the options at sit-down meals to either just order a couple of appetizers, starters, 2 or 3 to share, or split a main meal. which they're quite happy for you to do. No one really complains about you doing that, about sharing. So it's options are there, and you have the world at your feet where it's classed with food. So that's been our point of view on theme park food choices, options, a brief overview of what is available. As brief as we get.
We could talk for hours and still not cover everything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options, and new options are being brought in all the time as well. There's always new food being announced, depending on what time of year ago. You've got different choices, especially over the holiday season. You get a lot of
seasonal
foods, and especially if you go during an Epcot festival as well, you get a lot of choice. So join us in the next episode where we talk about more food.
We're going to talk about off-site food,
which is a lot of options. International Drive.
It's just a whole world of its own, yeah.
So if you'd like to catch up with us for the next episode of food, then please click the like button if you've liked this video and want to find out more about more food. Subscribe, and you can follow us, and you'll be notified of any new videos if you click that notified button. Click the ring bell. So anyway, hope to see you again for our next blog, which will be on off-site food, which will cover International Drive and wider area of Orlando in general. Hope to see you again soon.
Bye for now.
Bye.